I'm old school, like give me Big Bang, give me 21, give me Girl Generation. Greetings everyone, I hope you've all been well. I am back with a video. I know it's been a minute and I'm not going to bore you with the boring excuses of why I've been away, but I really got the urge to film. I just really missed just standing in front of the camera and speaking to you guys, so I'm here today. So I've recently gotten my study mojo back, and I know I did a video before about, you know, getting that back. I will link it below, but recently, I don't know what it was that set me off, but I really wanted to just throw myself into Korean studies and really get myself fluent. Like, my aim is to be able to have like a full-blown conversation by the end of this year, and I'm really determined to do that now. So I'm very excited, and I thought I would share this with you guys. I don't really know what it was that kind of got me started again, but I sat down to study and I was like, this isn't coming as easily as it was before. Like, I sat down to study. I used the integrated Korean books for grammar. I actually enjoy studying grammar. I know that people have all of their opinions of how you should study a language, what you shouldn't do. But for me, I really enjoy knowing the mechanics of a language. So grammar is something I do enjoy studying. But this time I sat down and I was like, this isn't coming easily to me. And then I sat down and I thought, what was it before that made this so easy for me? And I realized back in the day, when even before I really did, you know, properly study when I was living there, I was really into K-pop. Like, that's all I listened to, and I only watched Korean drama. So I got like loads of input, and even before I realized what I was doing. So when it came time for me to actually sit down and start studying the language, it kind of came a bit easy to me because I understood like the sentence structure and like the patterns and stuff, and things came easily to me. And then I realized, like, now I'm a bit older, I'm not into K-pop like that anymore. Like, there's all these bands coming, like, I'm old school, like, give me Big Bang, give me 21, give me Girl Generation. Like, I'm not really into like the new stuff, so I don't listen to that. And I'm just getting back into K-dramas, so I haven't really had that kind of like input. So when I sat down to study, it was a bit jaggedy, like it wasn't coming and flowing as naturally as it did before. So this got me thinking, clearly for me, input was something that was a big thing even before I realized that it was. So why don't I kind of concentrate on that for the time being and leave off grammar? Like I said, I do enjoy studying grammar, but you can't like force these things, because there's no point in learning about conjugation and all of that good stuff if you don't have any words to conjugate. So for the past week or so, I've solely concentrated on input, and I've been enjoying it so far. It's been a bit different because it's not something that I've actively done before, but I've set myself the challenge of just concentrating on that. And for the month of June, I'm only going to do input. So like, that is my challenge. Study every single day, get some input in there, and see how I fare and what the update is at the end of the month. So we're just at the end of May now. I've been doing this kind of input only method for about a week, and it's going well. My main source of material has been LingQ. It's a website owned by someone here on YouTube called Steve Kaufman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's like a big proponent of the input only method. His main thing is like reading for hours on end, and then like listening as well. I agree and I disagree with that, because I do still think that grammar is important. Like, you need to know how the mechanics of the language work, but that's my personal thing. But I do enjoy the input side, and I do see the use of it. Once I'm done with like my whole month of June just doing input, I'll probably do a review of the website if any of you are interested, because I do think it has its plus points and it has its minus points, but as a bit of study material, I think it's a really good website. So I'll briefly explain to you how the website works. So when you start a new lesson, you get the audio file, and you also get the text as well. It will be filled with like any blue words. So these blue words are words you don't know. As you read through, you either turn them yellow, you turn them into links, and these links will appear in any other lessons that you do. And then it also turns into like flashcards and stuff, so you can use those words to study. Any words that you do know, you can turn it to like white or just normal. And then I think that's it. So like you do that, you read, you listen. Basically, I'm breaking this down very, very simply. But like I said, I will properly explain that to you when I do the review. So I've been using that and that's going well. I've been doing like their kind of more simple lessons, which is, I've been enjoying that, and I've been listening a lot. What I've also done, because they also have what people do, you can upload files, you can upload lessons and whatnot. And if you guys know about their talk to me in Korean Iyagi lessons, they're uploaded on there as well, so you can use that as well to study, which is really good because you get more interesting topics like scary stories when so and so was in the military, riding the train, and all this interesting stuff. So you can, that's a bit more advanced. I do the easier stuff every single day, and I will do one Iyagi lesson for the week. Well, that's what I've done this week so far. So one Iyagi lesson, because there are a lot of pages on the website to go through, like it's a lot of text to go through. So that's my more advanced stuff, and then I'll do like the simple beginner stuff every single day. So I've been really enjoying doing that, and I do see the benefit of the input only method, because just this week alone I've realized that I'm now able to recognize words that I wasn't able to do at the beginning of the week. So I think I'm going to try and do it more. I work so many hours, so I do try and fit it in when I'm driving or, you know, listening to the audio files. I do try and slip it in, you know, throughout the day. Even though I don't really understand what they're talking about, I do also try and listen to some Korean podcasts. I try and find stuff that I think might be interesting. It's quite easy to find podcast in Korean. You can do it on iTunes, so if you go to like on your iTunes player, you can select the language, you can choose Korean, and you can actually choose some Korean podcasts. I have like an app on my phone, so if I find the name of like a podcast that seems interesting, I will subscribe to it on the app on my phone. And what I do is, before I go to bed, I'll just stick on a podcast and listen to it as I sleep. And it really gets you used to like hearing natural Korean speech patterns, conversations and stuff like that. So I might not understand what they're saying now, but I think over time, as I get more input and, you know, immerse myself a little bit more, because this is the only way I can really get immersed in the language, I think it will start to pay off eventually. I do also have like the Naver Junior app on my phone, and that just shows you like kids videos, like stuff that's just aimed at kids, like all these videos and stuff, because Korean TV shows aimed at kids, obviously the language is going to be a lot simpler. They're things that I can understand, so it's another good way to kind of get the input in. I do have some other materials that I don't really use as of yet, but once I do start getting a little bit better with the language, I will definitely start to utilize. That would be the Naver Webtoon app, and I think it's like their novel app as well, because the stuff, the written stuff is just a bit too advanced for me at this moment in time, but I see some things that I'm like really excited to read. So the comic books and stuff, because you've got the pictures, and then it kind of gives context to what you're reading. So I think that's a good one, and I'm very excited to kind of get my teeth into that, but I have to hold off and wait until I can properly read that. There is one that I've seen called Penguin Loves Mev, I think, and that's very simple, very easy. So I have been reading one or two, but I do want to kind of get into the grittier stuff, the more fun stuff. So I think at the end of June, I probably, fingers crossed, hopefully I should be able to do that. But that's kind of where I am at the moment. It's just early days. It's only been a week, but I'm very excited because I'm very determined to get into the month of June and just get input in there and see how much I've progressed in the language over the course of time. I hope that's helpful. I will link below anything that I have talked about or mentioned. If you guys are studying, do let me know your methods, because I love to find out the ways people are studying. I kind of steal ideas. So let me know down below if you are studying and what language you are studying, and I will speak to you guys next time. Bye.